Okay, hi everybody, it's Alyssa. Welcome to week 2 of our I Am Call series. So excited to be with you guys tonight and introduce you to our guest speaker. Well, I guess she's not a guest speaker. She's one of our very own, and very proud of that. But I just want to let you guys know, if you don't have a notebook and a pen in front of you, you're going to want to get one, okay? I like to think of it as the person that takes the most notes wins, okay? What I want you to know, I mean, you got to work your business too, but it's so important to take notes when you're listening to trainings. And the more notebooks you can fill up with notes, the better, because listen to this. When you actually write things down, you remember them a lot better than just listening to them, okay? It's really easy to listen to things and be motivated, but if you actually don't put pen to paper, first of all, it's really hard to remember trainings that you liked. And what I love about it is when you're going back and training your teams, you're going to have notebooks full of notes that you can share with your team later that, you know, they might not even be on your team right now. So the I Am Call series is our summer call series, and every week we are focusing on a different quality and attribute of an Arbonne leader. Last week was I Am a Leader, and I kicked off our call series, or our Zoom series. This week our topic is I Am Relentless, and I have asked Regional Vice President Sara Keener to share with us tonight. Guys, if there's one thing you want to know about this woman, she's relentless, okay, with her business. And so tonight I'm so thrilled. I've got my notebook here ready to take notes because I know that Sarah's going to have so many amazing nuggets to share. If you guys don't know, Sara and I are first cousins, and it is so fun to work this business, whether it's your mom or your cousin or your aunt or your sister. It's so fun to be able to share this with people in your family, and Sarah's definitely one of those people to me. So Sara, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Alyssa? You can hear me? Okay. Aunt Tanya says you can hear me. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for, thanks Alyssa for the kind introduction. And I just wanted to talk about this topic. Alyssa let us choose what topics we wanted. And for those of you that know me a little bit, I am predominantly red, and so I actually look at the word, but I'm also positive, and I really look at the word relentless as a positive thing. And so I think a lot of people look at that word and it can kind of tend to be somewhat negative for some folks, but I think we're going to look at the positive side of relentless tonight. So, and Alyssa, I think there might be some background noise. I just wanted to make sure we had all.
Let me mute everybody, Sara, and then I'll unmute you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you should be good to go.
Okay. Thank you so much. So this doesn't have to be a bad word. Relentless, I was looking up the definition and I was like, I really don't like these definitions. So I want you guys to mean what it doesn't mean. That's the first thing that I'm going to really define for you for our Arbonne business. First of all, it doesn't mean that you're title driven in this company. That's not what relentless means. It doesn't mean that you run people over. It doesn't mean that you sacrifice your family to get to the top. It doesn't mean that you are defined by success. So those are the things that relentless doesn't mean. I want you to focus, as we are talking about relentless today, I want you to focus on what it does mean in a positive way. It means that you're constant. It means that you're persistent, that you're never ending, that you have strength, that you're continual. And I love the fact that those are really positive ways to look at it. So I chose tonight for our training 4 things to be relentless in Arbonne that I've learned over the past 9 years of my business. And I'm going to weave in and out my experience. Now, anytime that this sounds a little preachy, I want you to know I'm preaching to Sara Keener, not to you, right? And if it comes to the point where you're like, maybe I needed that too. Just know that I needed it too. But also know that this journey is not perfect. It's not been perfect for me. It's not going to be perfect for you. And this is all about striving to be a better you. And so that's really what I want you to kind of look at when we look at Relentless. So things in Arbonne to be relentless about. Number one, be relentless with building your skills. Be relentless with building your skills. You come into this business usually better at one thing than the other. So I want to give you my story. So I came into this business a month after Alyssa, and it was so crazy because she caught on to sponsoring right away. I did not. It took me a solid year to have a business partner, and I mean one. And guys, I think every single person that comes into this business, I tell all of my new consultants, it's okay. You can't be good at everything when you come in. I've never seen anybody good at everything. I wasn't good at everything, guys. I could book my calendar with groups. That is all that I knew how to do. And I drove those groups into the ground. I was relentless with my groups. And I learned how to do good groups, right? So I was relentless in building my skills at what I was good at first. So what are you good at first? Be relentless in that area and build your skills there first. So my story with sponsoring, though, was, yes, I needed to build that skill. So also know this, you're not going to have necessarily you're going to have the one thing that you're like, I wish I was better at that. And for me, that was sponsoring, right? But I needed to work on that because part of building a business is you have to get good at all the skills. So what are the 3 S's? You have to share the product, or I say the 4 S's. You have to share the product, you have to sponsor, you have to schedule your calendar, and you have to do self-development. Those are the 4 skills that you want to get really good in, right? So my story was, now you know, solid year, totally not good at sponsoring. This was 2008. I remember calling Carrie in 2009, completely frustrated. I was like, I don't know how in the heck you get business partners, but this is eluding me. I talk about the business at my presentations and nobody circles 3s. Like, this is hysterical now that you hear me say this out loud. Like, you have to be on purpose. And that was the training that came to me through Danielle Pearson, I think, like in January or December. And I was like, oh, on purpose. That's cool. So the thing about it is that, even though I had natural skill, maybe booking my calendar, I also had to work on the stuff that I wasn't so good at. So I went from December super frustrated. I told Carrie, I'll do my $2,500 building block, but I'm not doing an ounce more in sales. And I remember Carrie laughing at me. And if anybody knows Carrie, that's what she does. She laughs at everything. And I would have laughed too if I had a business partner say, I'm only doing my building block. For those of you that have a team, you think that's kind of funny too, but I had a lot of fear. I had to let go of a lot of pride to really sponsor, and I had to address what it was going to take to build my skill there. So I made a decision. I was going to have a team. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but January I was going to get back with Carrie and we were going to talk about it. So she told me a simple solution. She said, Sara, if you'll just bring me 3 to 5 people a week on the phone, because of course we're 4.5 hours apart, she said, I'll sponsor a team for you. And I was like, that's it? And she said, yeah. And I wore her out. I brought her, I'm very literal. I brought her the right amount of people. I'm like, I'm going to prove her wrong. This may not work. So here's my point though. I went from $2,500 to $10,000 in 30 days. And guys, how that happened was I sponsored 2 people. Carrie came down and did a DA. She saw that I was working and I was going to get people there. But what was the difference? I just worked on a skill that I had not been good at for almost a year in my business. So I chose to focus on my why. And when I focused on my why, and when you focus on your why in building your skills, you're going to persist until you've mastered the skill. If you'll focus on your why first. So if you'll have to tweak it. You're going to have your skills. You're going to have to tweak. You're going to have to get back up on the horse. You're going to have to fail enough times to get good at it. And I want you guys to know that when you tweak it again and again and again, it's no longer going to be a problem. It's going to move out of your way. So what do we have to be willing to do? If a horse bucks you off in this business, which will happen, it's the decision whether to get back on. Okay, do I want to keep trying to be relentless in building this skill? It's a decision. But here's the deal. If the horse is taking you to a place that's worth the risk of getting bucked off again, you're going to hop back on the horse. That's why everything starts with why. If you have a big enough reason why, well, then you're going to develop all the 4 S's in Arbonne and master this business, right? So be relentless in building your skill. It's worth the risk. You will master it. I don't know if you guys follow Donna Johnson. I actually every Monday get super pumped because I always listen to SoundClouds, usually when I'm making peanut butter and jellies at lunchtime. Like, that's just my thing. That's what I do, and I love it. It's one of my favorite times of the day. And I want you guys to know that Cassandra House had a great one, and then Val Gunter had a fabulous one the week before. But I want you guys to know that she had an awesome topic. She said, you have to face the obstacles to push through to the next level. Be grateful for the obstacles, because without them, you will not be able to grow to the next level. If you don't have obstacles in your business right now, you are odd. Because I don't know anybody. I have obstacles right now in my business. Like, I don't know anybody that doesn't have obstacles. What is it that you are gonna have to grow through to get to the next level? What is it? We are approaching halftime in this year. We are a little over halftime in this month. We got 7 days left, 6 days, however optimistic you are. But growing you is where the success starts and stops. Everything you're looking for is inside of you. So stop looking outside of you. You are the one that is the secret, and I love that. So embrace the challenges in Arbonne. Build the skill, be relentless. Number 2, build your leadership. I won't talk a ton about this, but oh my word, I loved your call last week, Alyssa. Leadership is one of my favorite topics. Another topic that totally eluded me. So I came in. What is your skill that you came in Arbonne being good at? Leadership? Nope, not me. Remember, I booked groups. I drove that one into the ground. Okay, that's the only thing I was good at for a year in Arbonne. So building people, what is that? Totally illusion. Didn't know what it was. Natural red in me said, just check off a to-do list. Don't know how to build people, right? No one is a natural born leader. Take comfort in that. Leadership is developed through failure over and over again. It's learning what not to do by doing the wrong things. It's reading books to help you build you. Leaders aren't born, they're made, and they are made just like anything else. They are made through hard work, and that's the price they have to pay to achieve their goal or any goal. And that's from Vince Lombardi. I love that quote. So if you're like, I'm not a natural born leader, nobody is. That's actually an urban legend. You have to work to be a leader. So don't feel bad. But when you sign up to get into this business, you sign up instead of to be a consultant, you sign up to be an independent leader, a CEO that's going to lead countless in this business, building a nation. And I loved this from Cassandra House's. She has an accent, so I kind of miss half her training, and then I go back the next day and I get the other half, and I'm like, it's a new training every day for me. She's from Australia, by the way. I do love her accent. But here's the deal. She said, through hard work, that's the price that you have to pay. In Arbonne, you aren't paid like corporate America on just mastering a skill or skills, and you can check out emotionally. Guys, when I worked as an interior designer, I could do your entire house off of one swatch of fabric. Give me a fabric, I'll do everything. I could spend your money like a champ. But you know what? I built these amazing skills, but totally could check out emotionally. Even if you were my client that was telling me all of your problems, which actually always happens to me. How many of you guys on this call have a sign on your head that says, tell me all about it? And we do in Arbonne. Of course, that's one reason why we're here. But you know what? You could check out emotionally in corporate America. Guys, your paycheck in this business, this is so cool. I love this. You are paid on how well you develop you and how well you develop others. I love that about this business. I also think this is so cool. And I don't know if this inspires you as much as it inspires me, but we're all messed up when we come into this business. We all tote our luggage of junk, right? And so as a leader, we have to meet people where they are. We have to welcome them into our home with their luggage of emotional junk. And we have to meet them where they are, unpack the junk, and sort through it to build them as a person. So there's no perfect business partner that's going to come into your business either. I've prayed for them for actually 9 years, and I've realized, wow, there's not one. Okay, let's move on. Let's be a leader. Let's build people where they are when they come into this business. But an MVP is only there because they've had the courage to face and overcome the unloved portions of themselves, the undesirable portions of themselves, the lost and the dejected pieces of themselves. Wow, that gives me hope, right? If I just have the courage to face my junk and I never give up, I'm going to be an MVP, right? So have the courage, build your leadership skills. If you're in multi-level marketing, you are, because you're on this call, obviously, but guys, guess what? You are the 1% of the people in the world who have the courage to build a business by building themselves. My husband flies for a really successful businessman, and I think, you know, we have a lot of interaction with this man. He's a multi-millionaire. And you know what? I love him. But what I don't love about him is that he's not had to build himself to build his business. And you know what? It's never going to be enough. And he's never going to achieve the level of joy and the level of greatness, that statue of David that God has really created inside of him, unless he actually chooses to build him. So you can have all the stuff and you can build a multi-million-dollar business from the ground up like he has and be an entrepreneur. But if you don't work on you, it doesn't mean that much when you get there. And everybody's a liability and everybody's out to take it from you, right? And you don't really have true joy. So be so grateful that God gave you this business, because you know what? He gave you this business because he knew that you could build you and that you were the top 1% in this world. And I love that. Number 3, be relentless about building your vision. Be relentless about building your vision. Has your vision gripped your imagination? Do you daydream about what could be and what should be? That's all vision is. So if you were a kid and you were great at daydreaming, well, welcome. You are a visionary. You are a visionary. That might be something you are naturally good at coming into this business. Remember that when you are casting a vision, if it's misty in the pulpit, it's going to be foggy in the pew. If it's not clear coming out of the leader's mouth, it's going to cause confusion with the followers. So how clear is your vision? First of all, to have a vision, a relentless vision, you have to develop your vision first. That's the first step to have a relentless vision. What breaks your heart? What gets you slapping your hand on the table mad to say somebody should do something about this? You know, what is it? How is Arbonne your vehicle to solve that problem? Guys, if you haven't read this book, this is one of my, this was our book club this year, Visioneering by Andy Stanley. Amazing book. If you need to self-discover and build a vision, whoa, love it. Love this book. So Develop a purpose. Guys, every single one of you on this call, this is my thing in Arbonne, but I mentor people when they come into this business. You have a purpose that's bigger than you, way outside of you. Call to getting started. And then, sometimes their eyes kind of pop out of their head, but at the same time, there's this peace, love, and joy realizing, whoa, I'm a part of a culture that's so different. They actually believe in me. They actually believe I have a purpose. They believe I was called into this business and that this is my vehicle. So what is your purpose? Also, when you're developing your vision, persist to mature your vision. It will change as you grow and mature. So the initial why that you get into this business, your small vision, like my small vision, I just wanted to stay at home with my babies, and I didn't grow my vision for a while. But you know what? Once I developed and shifted my vision, guess what? I started growing then my vision grew, right? And then it became about purpose and about a bigger me. Also, when you're developing your vision, pray to develop your purpose. What is it? Guys, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know my purpose until 5 years into this business. It's okay if you're sitting on the call like, wow, I just signed up yesterday and I don't really know what this girl's talking about. I'm kind of like intimidated by purpose. It's okay. Like, I've been in for a while. So I've had a lot of failures, a lot of mistakes, a lot of what not to do's, but I've had a lot of opportunity to pray too. And I've had a lot of opportunity to grow and mature in me and develop my vision. So I want you guys to know that pray about your purpose. What are you put on this earth to do? Figure it out. You can pray over it. It will eventually come to you. Arbonne is your vehicle, though, to do this big purpose outside of you, even if you're not sure today exactly what that is. Start with what you know. Your vision simply is an extension of his vision. That is what it is. So your vision will enable you to endure the preparation that you have to go to achieve it. Whoa. I told Alyssa the other day, man, if I would have known the preparation, the journey, I would have thought again. And then of course I wouldn't. It's been worth every single minute of it. And we joked and laughed because we have a lot of funny stories and we could write a book. But you know what? Your vision will enable you to endure the preparation, the foggy middle, right? That you have to go through, who you're becoming along the way. Your vision will grow to exceed your competency. Your vision's going to get so big that you're not competent alone to achieve it. This is where God works. This is where you start to develop a God-sized vision. So always be seeking that God-ordained vision. God-ordained visions are too big for us to handle. We shouldn't be surprised that we can't handle it and we feel ill-equipped at some point in our journey when we've been growing ourselves, because you know what? Consider the source. He's a little bit bigger than us, right? So be relentless in persisting and pursuing to develop your vision. Lastly, I'm going to talk to you about be relentless about building your prayer life. Alyssa has been so many amazing things to me in a leader. But one thing that I love about her is she has an awesome prayer life. And that is something that I've always looked to her. And she has led me in that way. The first book that we did a book club years ago. Rachel Dean and Ashley Myers, Alyssa, and myself on Prayer of Jabez. If you haven't read Prayer of Jabez and you would like to start to increase your vision in your prayer life, get that little book. It's a quick little read, but we did a devotional in the mornings. And guys, that book kind of blew my mind. I never had looked at prayer like that before. So that's the first book that helped me. But simply put, God won't do it unless you pray for it. Then I've read several books on prayer. One of my favorites several years ago was Circle Maker by Mark Batterson. Love this book, Circle Maker, Mark Batterson. If you haven't read it, grab it. Put it on your 2017 book club list. But I want to read to you guys a little bit from this book. We pray out of our ignorance, but God answers out of his I can't even say this, out of his omniscience. You know what I mean. What does it say? Omniscience, right? We pray out of our impotence, but God answers out of his omnipotence. Why did I choose this passage to read to you? Obvious. Okay. Oh. Yeah, we should edit this. Whoa, I don't actually think this is what I was going to read you, but I'm going to keep going. Stick with it. Build your skill. Be relentless. Okay, God has the ability to answer the prayers we should have prayed, but lack the knowledge or ability to even ask. Yeah, not real sure that was what I was going to read you, but that was a good passage. Oh, this is what I was going to read you. Simply put, God won't do it unless we pray for it. We have not because we ask not, or maybe I should say we have not because we circle not. The greatest tragedy in life is the prayers that go unanswered because they go unasked. That speaks volumes because, guys, I had this little thing in me that said, you're so selfish for asking for what you want or desire. And that's where my shift had to happen. And we're not going to go into that tonight. That's a whole nother training. But first, I want you to, as you're being relentless to build your prayer life, don't try to pronounce the words I just pronounced, but I want you to know what to circle, know what to pray over, okay? That's the first thing you need to do is know what to pray over, know what to circle. What's your Jericho? If you're not familiar with the wall of Jericho and how they had to march around the wall of Jericho to demonstrate their faith before the 50-foot wall fell. That's what this story actually is circling around. It's pretty cool. But define your dream. What is it? What's your purpose? Claim your promise. Spell your miracle. The second thing, when you're really building a relentless prayer life, be specific. That's something Alyssa's told me so many times. Now I'm so specific, it's ridiculous. And I want you guys to know that he wants you to know what you want. He knows what you want. Let's not get this wrong. He already knows before you ask, but he requires us to ask and be specific and make sure that we know what we want. And there's a reason for that. So let's give an example. In the Bible, the two blind men out of Jericho, Jesus was walking. There was two blind men and they called upon his name. And Jesus knew what they wanted, but Jesus said, "What do you want from me?" Jesus made them spell out, hello, they're blind. I think he knows what they want. But he still made them ask for it, right? That's the same with us, guys. He's going to make you ask for it. And if you're thinking, if he knows, then why does he make me ask for it? It's called faith, right? He requires it. And another thing that also I want you to know is that, he knew what they wanted, but he gets the glory when you're specific. So guess what I can say? I can say, you know what? I specifically prayed for A through Z, and you know what? God delivered A through Z. But if I'm not necessarily specific in my vision about what I'm praying for, he can't get the glory for that. Does that make sense? Because we're the ones that verbalize that glory. So I think that's really cool of why we should be specific. But next, when you are building your prayer life relentlessly, keep leaning in, develop your faith, and you'll develop your prayers. Develop your faith. Get a plan for personal growth. Align your vision with his vision. That's one of the hardest things that I've had to do on my journey, is actually saying, hey, Lord, I'm yours. What do you want me to do? Now, another book, I'm giving you guys lots of practical stuff, but 2014 was the start of a dark time for our family, and a beautiful time as well. But I was reading something, of course, totally meant to be, but Anything by Jenny Allen. If you are really trying to surrender and align your vision with his and really dump out some selfish ambition in this business or in your life, whoa, my stomach hurt on that one, by the way. That book really turned my world upside down. The Israelites didn't conquer Jericho because of a brilliant military strategy or brute force. They learned how to let the Lord fight their battles. That's what an audacious prayer life is all about. Prayer circles are far more powerful than our mere 100% effort. Prayer knocks down 50-foot walls. Choose audacious faith and choose audacious action. So I'm going to close out today because I know I'm probably over my time, so I'm sorry about that. But I want to talk to you about 2 realms that you can live in. And there's 2 realms that you're either in one realm or the other sitting in your chair today. And I want you to ask yourself, which realm are you living in? The first realm uses the verbiage of, I'm hoping this is going to happen in May. I'm really going to try. I'm really going to do my best. I have a big to-do list, right? Guys, I've been in the hope at the try realm, the hope make it happens airline. I don't really want to be on that airline. That doesn't sound too promising to me, right? I hope that it makes it to my destination and doesn't crash. Whoa. Okay. So that realm I've been in so many times in my business, in and out of the realm. And my big goal this year, every month, is to be out of that realm. I'm not hoping anymore. I'm not trying anymore. I'm not copying and pasting my text messages. I'm not whatever it is. It's a heart thing, okay? It's moving into the audacious realm, okay? So are you in the hope, the try realm? Are you in the audacious, I've made a decision realm? Let's talk about that realm for just a minute. With the Lord, we're going to make it happen. Until this occurs, I will act in audacious faith, and I will act in audacious action. I will have audacious faith. I will believe every month we're going to qualify for nation. I will act. I will coach. I will do. I will be until. I'm not going to hope or just try. I'm going to do. But I'm going to do more than do. I'm going to believe audaciously. So here's the deal that I've had to let go of. When you are consistently in the realm of audacious action and faith, you have to, first of all, to be consistent, to be in this realm, you can't be defined by hitting your goals. So let me give you an example, real recent. November 2016, getting ready to leave for Las Vegas, I'd prayed for a year and a half or so for God to give me a date for nation. And because of just my journey, I'd really surrendered my date to him for about 2 years. I hadn't set a date. It wasn't that I wasn't working my business. It was that I had put that date as an idol in my life, right? I'd allowed it to define me too much. So I kind of sacrificed that on the altar. And so I prayed when God was ready to give me a date. I was going to work and believe and act. And he needed to just give me my date. So he gave me the date of May 1st. Okay. So I just assumed that May 1st meant we're going to be a new nation May 1st. Okay. This is in November. That feels kind of good. You know, go to Vegas, take tons of notes, have a huge vision, put an action plan on paper on the airplane, come back. And see, I don't even remember when we got back. I think it was like I don't even know, like a Sunday or something. And then that Thursday, we were having our Christmas party here at my house, and my best friend was killed in a car wreck. 6 days later, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was a season of challenge. But here's the deal. I'd already chosen to live in the audacious realm. I'd already prayed for a year and a half that God would give me a date. So I kind of forgot about the date, even though I still worked. In the end of February of this year, I was celebrating. We were building momentum. Have an awesome leader on my team, Danya Pendergraft, who got in qualification for area. And what I loved that Danya led me in, and yes, your team will lead you, is that Danya prayed circles around her business. She acted. She lived in the realm of audacious faith and audacious action. And I saw Danya qualify for area, give him all the glory. And I was like, wow. So celebrating the next morning, March 1st, in my kitchen, listening to my personal growth that I love to do over peanut butter and jelly. And I kind of freaked out because I realized, whoa, wait, he gave me the day of May 1st. So through contemplation and pretending like I really didn't hear that or recognize that, I kind of wanted to back out of that, but realized we really need to go for qualification this month. We have no people close to region, like what's going on, etc. So I want you to know this. I had to let go of something to go for what seems impossible to me. I had to let go of me. I had to let go of my pride, but I had to let go of what if it doesn't happen? What if I act for 30 to 90 days in audacious faith and I believe with all my heart and I'm in personal growth and personal activity and I'm the best leader I can be and it doesn't happen? Well, you know what? That's what you gotta let go of. To consistently be in the realm of audacious, you have to let go of your goals defining your worth. You have to be okay, even if it's not today, because guess what? If you're consistent and you're relentless and you live in the realm of audacious action and faith, guess what? It will be tomorrow. It will be. I know it. I know it's coming. I know it's coming soon. And I had to choose this year to live in the audacious realm of decision and action and belief because I am relentless, and I'm relentless in a good way. And you know what? Even if you don't feel relentless, let me just tell you what, choosing every day to look at and have the courage to build this business makes you relentless. You're the 1% of people who decided to have the courage to build the business anyway, because you're the 1% of the people in the world who decided to actually build a business that your direct paycheck reflects the amount that you've grown, the courage that you've had thus far. And you know what? Congratulations, because you actually will get paid in the end what you deserve, even though you won't feel that you are worth that much. So be relentless, build your skill, do the things we've talked about, pray, all these things. And you know what? Even if it doesn't happen this month, even if it doesn't happen today, stay in the realm of relentless, audacious faith and action. And guess what? It's going to happen, and it's going to happen tomorrow. So I hope this has helped you guys. I hope this something I've said has spoke to y'all today, but that's where my heart was tonight. And thanks, Alyssa, for asking me to talk.
So awesome. Thank you, Sara, so much for that. And I couldn't think of a better person to share with us tonight. And so guys, what I want you to do is go back through your notes and write down, she gave us 4 different ways to, or areas to be relentless in our business. And so I want you to write out, how can you become more relentless in building your skill, specifically for you? How can you be more relentless in building yourself? How can you be more relentless in growing your vision? And then lastly, how can you be more relentless in building your prayer life? And that's the piece that I want you to share. Of course, journal about it and then share that with your upline. The more open you can be with your upline, the better quality of coaching you will receive. Okay. Sometimes we shy away from it because we might be ashamed or embarrassed. And guys, there's no there's no reason to feel that way, because we all have room to grow. And so the more open you can be with your upline about that, and specifically where you're at, the better coaching you will receive, the deeper level of coaching you will receive. Because if you keep it surface, the coaching that you're going to receive is going to be surface, because there's no meat to it. And so so share that. So Sara, again, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. It was beautiful. It was authentic. It was real. And I so appreciate you pouring time into our team this week. Stay tuned. Next week is going to be our Nation Zoom. Our guest speaker is going to be Executive National Vice President Carrie McDonald. We're going to have some awesome recognition, and then we're going to have another I Am Series training included in that. So I hope you guys have a great week. I will post this recording on our Success Line page. Bye, guys.